Hi, I'm Phil from Friends of Stony Creek. We like to look after the creek, and we organise planting days and clean-up days, and anything to do with the creek, we're there.
Where's Phil's one?
You know how to plant a tree, wouldn't you, Bug? Alright, supervisor. There's not much soil around it in this little hole, so I'm trying to get a little bit of extra put around it to get the best chance I can give it. I might actually put a couple of these in just to give it a bit of strength. There we go. Good luck, little tree.
This was the Sunshine tip.
Yeah.
And they said they're going to turn it into a park, and I couldn't believe it. There was a lot of development, houses and stuff being built in Sunshine.
Yeah.
And they brought truckload after truckload of filling in. And eventually they did it. I was amazed. And then they planted all the trees. It was beautiful before the drought came along. I'll tell you where you want to aim your camera if you want to give them something to look at.
Yeah.
Go up to the park, there's a gum tree, there's a branch comes right over the sea. They often come down here to Sulphur Creek because I've never seen them nest there before. If they're in the nest, you'll see their head poking out. They won't come out because, you know, that's part of their don't give up where the nest is. Okay, yeah, it's a bit of a wildlife sanctuary. Not even worried about us. Look at it, actually going alive.
Yeah, I think it's all about it.
There's one of them. That would have grown into a nice big tall tree, but unfortunately didn't make it. It's very difficult to establish plants up here because it's so dry, but it's really worth it just to get a few trees to hold the soil together. Yes, let's go down here. We can't come back and water them every day, so we have to accept that a number of plants will die. Here's one survivor. He is struggling a bit. Hopefully he'll last through summer. I'll keep looking for some more. Yes, it is a silver wattle. So all of these are silver wattles, and they've probably been planted 10 years ago. We planted a few plants in here, not that many, and they've just multiplied. And you can see these ones are coming up from the roots. There's so many seeds everywhere. There's a little thing called an awn. It's like a little tiny white bit. And the ants really love that white bit. They carry the whole seed back into their ant burrow just so they can eat the white bit off there. But that's a tree that's a really good one to start with because it grows very quickly. The roots dig very deep down into the soil and crack open the soil so that the plants that come next can follow those roots down. And it has a lot of beneficial insects that will live in that tree, which will feed birds and other animals coming to the new area where trees have been planted. The creek is fed by all of the gutters, and all that water comes down through pipes into the creek. So we've got to be very careful that we look after the creek and protect it. Make sure you clean up the dog poo after your dog and your cigarette butts and any rubbish like that, because that will definitely end up in the gutter and can be washed down into the creek.
There you go.
G'day, good thanks. I just noticed this oil coming down here. I got one of the team to call the EPA. They're going to come down and have a look.
All right, thank you.
No worries. Take it easy. Hope you find out the culprit.
These types of things are really hard to find a source to. The water was pretty turbid, but there wasn't actually any real visible oil or a sheen or anything like that.
We can't do a lot. It's not a huge spill. In most cases we will put a beam across, stop it further going downstream, and hope that it doesn't keep flowing down.
Yeah.
It's correct.
Alright everyone, I need to get us to come over and sit down in the shade. What we're going to be having a bit more of a look at today is what we call the habitat in the area. And when we look at the bugs in our trays, we'll probably find a bit of habitat.
Already found a pond skater.
We've got a few backs. Okay, I got another back.
Oh, I found something.
That's very unusual. I've never seen one do that before.
What does that sound like? Growling. All of these frogs are found in Melbourne, but the growling grass frog is unfortunately not as common. They require very, very good habitats, clean water, enough water, disturbances to their habitat. Think about this Stony Creek. I mean, the frogs aren't the only ones in the creek, are they?
Mr. and Mrs. Frog lived in Stony Creek. They were waiting for their eggs to grow up. First, Bubbles the fish came for breakfast. Poor Buzz the dragonfly, but she had saved the day. Mr. and Mrs. Frog took a moment to catch their breath. They almost didn't notice Sally the snake. Then, along came Wags the dog. Pooh! They cried and swam away. But then a hand came from nowhere and scooped the dog poo up. Mr. and Mrs. Frog returned to see their eggs were safe. Their tadpoles hatched and they all lived happily ever after. Well, most of them.
Somewhere. Hello.
Hi. Woman Jika. My name is Larry Walsh. I'm usually called Uncle Larry. I'm going to do a little bit of storytelling, but I'm going to give you a little bit about the Bunurong people, because the Bunurong people in this area were the Yalukit Willam. Now, the Wurundjeri Warrawong, just up on the other side of Francis to the Maribyrnong River, were called the Murrin Bullock. A lot of people think, you know, how do the Aboriginal people live in these areas? Well, you've got to go way back. And when you look at all the grasslands and all the rivers and creeks around here, that was their high point. But the trees were the Kmart and 7-Eleven of the Aboriginal world.
Really?
Truly. I'll give you an idea. From trees you can get all your tools, you got your shelter, you got your transport, string, glue, eggs, fruit, nuts, some trees medicine, your small foods, plus you got bubble gum, cordial and water. Now look at that, I did 13 things that you can get from trees.
Cool.
Now, every group has something they can eat and something they can't eat. For instance, can I tell you the story of how we got koalas? Many years ago, my people, Kulin people, one day ran into an orphan boy. His name was Kubra. Kubra, you come live with us for a while, you learn our ways, and when you're old enough you can look after yourself. One day, Kubra got the age of responsibility, and at the time they were having a big meeting. Kubra, it's your turn to look after the camp. All we need you to do is look after these big fires we're having, and when we come back we'll have a big cook-up. Off they went. Now this day, it got hot. It got hotter and hotter. Now when everyone came back, they were hot and tired and thirsty. Where'd the tarnuks go? What happened to the billabong? Where's Kubra? And a little voice from up in the tree said, I'm up here and I've got all your water. Kubra, come down now and there'll be no trouble. No, I'm never coming down, never. So they got angry and angrier. Threw the sticks as hard as they could. Oh, the sticks struck Kubra in the back, the legs, the neck, the arm, the face, and he dropped all the water. Now after everyone had a drink of tarnuk, they said, Kubra, come down now and we fix up all your hurts. And Kubra's gone, I'm never coming down, never. Now as soon as he did that, his neck disappeared, his shoulders rolled over, his eyes grew larger, his face shot out, his arms and legs shrunk, and his feet and hands turned into claws. And Kubra became the first koala. Now that story is about sharing, because water is an important resource that belongs to everybody and needs to be looked after and shared by everybody. And you doing things like the Water Watch is helping to do that. Actually, I'm going to pinch a mouthful of that now. Thank you.
Walk around.
All that mangrove has actually been cut and replanted.
Yes, and the mangrove's been replanted, yes. It would have been here before, but I think it was killed by a spill in the 60s or something? Later, 70s? 70s, yeah. And from Parks Vic actually replanted all the mangroves, and they've just done so well. You know, the soils, most people are very, very